आज म तपाईहरुलाई B.Ed सेकेन्ड इयरको रिडिङ्स फर द न्यू होराइजन्स भन्ने सब्जेक्टको मेजर इङ्ग्लिश सब्जेक्टको चाहिँ आज म तपाईहरुलाई यो लेसन 8 माई अर्ली लाइफ भन्ने लेसनको चाहिँ म आज तपाईहरुलाई चाहिँ यसको सल्भ गरेको क्वेशनहरु चाहिँ आज म तपाईहरुलाई शेयर गर्नेछु। अघिल्लो भिडियोमा मैले तपाईहरुलाई 7 सम्म चाहिँ मैले तपाईहरुलाई लेसन 7 सम्म चाहिँ सल्भ गरेको क्वेशनहरु मैले तपाईहरुलाई शेयर गरिसकेको छु। आज म तपाईहरुलाई 8 को चाहिँ 8 नम्बरको यो लेसन 8 को माई अर्ली लाइफ भन्ने लेसनको चाहिँ आज म तपाईहरुलाई यसको क्वेशन एन्सर शेयर गर्नेछु। यसमा चाहिँ केही इम्पोर्टेन्ट क्वेशन एन्सरहरु रहेका छन्। यहाँनिर थोरै भए तापनि तपाईहरुले यसलाई चाहिँ आफूले एक्सप्लेन गरेर चाहिँ अरु कुराहरु चाहिँ तपाईहरुले चाहिँ एड गर्न पनि सक्नुहुनेछ। यहाँ म तपाईहरुलाई बताउने चाहिँ ए नम्बरमा रहेको छ व्हाई डिड चर्चिल हेट Eton School. Did the school promote his reading? Churchill hated Eton College. He got cruel beating from his headmaster. The school didn't encourage much in his reading. It was expensive too. यहाँ चाहिँ थोरै भए तापनि यसमा चाहिँ तपाईहरुले अरु कुराहरु चाहिँ तपाईहरुले चाहिँ यो माई अर्ली लाइफ लेसन भन्ने चाहिँ के रे लाइफ भन्ने चाहिँ लेसन चाहिँ तपाईले पढेर चाहिँ यो चाहिँ तपाईले अरु कुराहरु तपाईले चाहिँ सक्नुहुनेछ। लगभग तपाईले कुनै पनि क्वेशनको यो स्टेजमा यो मतलब यो लेभलमा आएर तपाईले चाहिँ यो क्वेशनलाई चाहिँ तपाईले चाहिँ कम्तिमा पनि 6-7 चाहिँ सेन्टेन्सहरु तपाईले चाहिँ लेख्नु पर्ने हुन्छ ताकि तपाईहरुको राइटिङ स्किल पनि के रे तपाईले चाहिँ बढाउँदै लानुपर्ने हुन्छ। अब बी नम्बरमा त्यसैगरी लाने छु। बी मा भनेको छ व्हाई डिड ही हैव ह्याप्पी एक्सपीरियन्स इन स्कुल एट ब्राइटन Churchill had happy experience in school at Brighton because he was allowed to learn things which much interested him there. He also got chance to read French history, poetry, and most importantly, riding and swimming there. He found more interest reading there. त्यसैगरी सी मा रहेको छ when did Churchill's desire for learning come true? What books did he read during that and what did he learn from them? यहाँ रहेको छ when Churchill joined army career and went to India in the winter of 1896 AD, his desire for learning came true. At that time, Churchill was only 22 years old. In India, he got plenty of time to read that changed his mind. His interest of reading really aroused and mind changed. During his visit, he happened to read Gibbon's history, decline and fall of the Roman Empire, Macaulay's the lays of ancient Rome and history. He also read Macaulay's essay. He read a classical work on history and philosophy like Plato's Republic, Aristotle's Politics, Malthus on population, Darwin's Origin of Species. In this way, he widens his horizon of knowledge. मैले पहिले पनि तपाईहरुलाई भनिसकेको छु यो मिनिङ वर्डहरु चाहिँ तपाईहरुले चाहिँ यो नोट गर्दै गर्दाखेरि तपाईहरुले चाहिँ यसको मिनिङ वर्ड पनि साइडमा तपाईले लेख्नु होला ताकि तपाईहरुलाई चाहिँ सजिलो हुन्छ। त्यसैगरी क्वेशनको पनि तपाईले क्वेशन पनि बुझ्नु भएन भने त्यसको प्रत्येक वर्डको चाहिँ तपाईले चाहिँ मिनिङ वर्ड साइडमा लेख्नुहोस् अनि त्यसपछि त्यो क्वेशनलाई चाहिँ तपाईले चाहिँ सजिलै बुझ्न सक्नुहुनेछ। डी नम्बर क्वेशन रहेको छ Why was Churchill's mother delighted? Churchill's mother wanted to make him a studious man. She always emphasized him to read history, economics, and philosophical books. She was delighted when she got his letters asking her to parcel him some of the popular books on history, economics and philosophy, etc. त्यसै गरी ईमा रहेको छ What was his attitude towards religion after reading various books? Churchill read various types of books and scriptures. After reading different books, his attitude towards religion changed from what he calls earlier silent acceptance to questioning skepticism. Yet he found all religion with some same purpose and message, no matter they come to us in various forms, shape and colors. F number रहेको छ What are the qualities of a good school? Should it have to encourage students to read something on their own interest or something relevant in their life? In a group of 3 or 4, discuss these questions. School is the institute where we get knowledge and broaden our ideas and mind. School should be initiative for the children, otherwise children cannot increase the horizon of their knowledge. The qualities of good schools are as follows. A number appropriate curriculum with broad and balanced subjects and activities, highlighted on intellectual, physical, spiritual, moral and development, varied teaching methodology, proper guidance and care, climate or atmosphere or trust and cooperation, respect for human rights in the social and the community, good relations with the local community, efficient, accountable and transparent financial management, clear plans, policies and procedures, organized teaching and learning through classroom management, adaptability to the changing needs of the society, monitoring and evaluating of policies, effective disciplines, structure based on praise and reward. यो चाहिँ रहेको छ क्वेशन नम्बर F को चाहिँ आन्सर. तपाईले यो पोइन्ट को कुराहरुलाई चाहिँ तपाईले चाहिँ अलि फोकस गरेर याद गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. त्यसैगरी अर्को रहेको छ समराइज द टेक्स्ट इन योर वन वर्ड्स. यो चाहिँ जी नम्बरको रहेछ. विन्स्टन चर्चिल वाज अ फेमस यङ English man, English man of his generation. He had played polo in India and had served in a couple of small wars on the northwest frontier. Then he had gone to South Africa at the outbreak of the Boer War. He was captured by the Boers. Then he had made a dramatic escape from the prison camp at Pretoria and got safely away across hundreds of miles of enemy-held territory. He got back to England. He was given a hero's welcome. There are the highlights of the story that he had to tell when he was in his middle fifties. He called his book My Early Life, and it was first published in 1930. The writer has described about the reading and habits and joy of reading of Winston Churchill. When Churchill was of 7, he was sent to boarding school. The school was chosen by his parents, who was the most expensive and fashionable in this country. For 2 years, Winston was the student there, and he hated it. He had already discovered the joys of reading. His father had given him a copy of Treasure Island, and he remembered the delight with which he devoured it. But when his master saw him reading books beyond his years, and at the same time he was backward in his lessons. With non-stop tries, Churchill managed at length to pass the entrance examination at Sandhurst and started on his army career. He went to India as a subaltern in the winter of 1896. He had plenty of spare time on his hands when the parades were over and it was too hot to play polo. He had picked up a wide vocabulary and had a liking for words and for the feel of words fitting into their places out in Bangalore. There was not one who could tell him for love or money. Churchill's father was dead and he was left to his own research. He resolved to read history, philosophy, economics and things like that, and his mother was delighted when he receives a letter from him economics and his mother was delighted when she receives a letter from him asking for a number of books he had heard of and thought he ought to read. Someone had told him that his father had read Gibbon with delight, that he knew whole pages of it by heart, and that it had greatly affected his style of speech and writing. From Gibbon he went on to Macaulay and learned all the lays of ancient Roma by heart and loved them, after which he embarked on Macaulay's history, that splendid romance he calls it. From November to May, Churchill was in India. He read for 4 or 5 hours every day the great classical works on history and philosophy, Plato's Republic, Aristotle's Politics, Malthus on population, Darwin's Origin of Species, all interspersed with books of leisure standing. It was curious education of courses. His various reading was related to lead to questions about religion. He had accepted everything he had been told. He had gone regularly to church every Sunday, sometimes marched to Catholic church and sometimes Protestant church. But later he began to read a number of books which challenged the religious education that he had been given at his public schools. Churchill had happy experience in school at Brighton because there he was allowed to learn things which interested him. He was allowed to read French history, poetry, and most importantly reading and swimming. After reading various books, his attitude towards religion changed from what he calls earlier silent acceptance to questioning skepticism, yet he found all religion with same purpose and messages, no matter they come to us in various forms, shapes and colors. यो चाहिँ रहेको थियो यो यो लेसनको चाहिँ समरी रहेको छ। यो लेसन चाहिँ हाम्रो माई अर्ली लाइफ माई अर्ली लाइफको चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ समरी रहेको थियो। हुन्छ, मैले तपाईँहरूलाई आज यति नै लेसन 8 को चाहिँ आज म तपाईँलाई यो सबै क्वेसनहरू सल्भ गरेको क्वेसनहरू चाहिँ मैले तपाईँलाई आज सेयर गरेको छु। जी नम्बरसम्म रहेको छ। यिनै क्वेसनहरूलाई चाहिँ तपाईँहरूले चाहिँ पहिला सुरुमा क्वेसन नोट गरेर चाहिँ क्वेसन नोट गर्नुहोस्, अनि त्यसलाई चाहिँ आफै पहिला सुरुमा प्र्याक्टिस गर्नुहोस्, अथवा तपाईँहरूले यसलाई नोट गरेर चाहिँ तपाईँले पछि चाहिँ यसलाई प्र्याक्टिस गर्न पनि सक्नुहुनेछ, ताकि यस्तै यस्तै क्वेसनहरू यसमा आउँछन् र तपाईँहरूले चाहिँ यिनीहरूलाई प्र्याक्टिस गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। तर खासमा चाहिँ यो रिडिङ्स फर द न्यू होराइजन्स भन्ने सब्जेक्ट चाहिँ सबै लिट्रेचरै हो। यसमा चाहिँ तपाईँले पोएट्री, स्टोरी, एसे सबै कुराहरू नै यसमा पर्दछन्। त्यो कारणले गर्दा चाहिँ यो सब्जेक्ट चाहिँ पढ्न पनि तपाईँलाई चाहिँ इन्ट्रेस्टिङ नै हुन्छ। यो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ सब्जेक्ट नै छ। यसमा चाहिँ धेरै कुराहरू रहेका छन् जुन चाहिँ पढ्नको निम्ति चाहिँ सजिलो हुन्छ। अन्त नलेजको निम्ति पनि यो बुक चाहिँ एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट पनि, अथवा धेरै कुराहरू सिकाउने खाले बुक चाहिँ यो रहेको छ। धेरै कुराहरू चाहिँ तपाईँले चाहिँ आफ्नो माइन्डलाई चाहिँ ब्रोड गर्नको निम्ति चाहिँ यो सब्जेक्ट चाहिँ एकदम धेरै नै हुन्छ। तपाईँले धेरै कुराहरू यसमा पाउनुहुनेछ। हुन्छ, मैले तपाईँहरूलाई यो चाहिँ युनिट 1 खासमा चाहिँ यो युनिट 1 मा चाहिँ ह्युम्यानिटिज भन्ने यो टपिकमा चाहिँ यो तपाईँलाई मैले 8 वटा चाहिँ यो लेसनहरू चाहिँ मैले तपाईँलाई बताएँ। यो युनिट 1 मा चाहिँ जम्मा 8 वटा लेसनहरू छ। यो छुट्टै टपिकहरूमा चाहिँ यो लेसनहरू रहेको छ। यो कोही मिथ भयो, अनि भागवत गीता भयो, होइन, अनि त्यसो अरू धेरै नेसेसिटी अफ रिलिजन भयो। यो सबै कुराहरू चाहिँ यो ह्युम्यानिटिज भन्ने चाहिँ लेसनमा चाहिँ ह्युम्यानिटिज भन्ने युनिटमा चाहिँ रहेको छ। अब म तपाईँहरूले आउने भिडियोहरूमा चाहिँ म युनिट 2 को चाहिँ म तपाईँहरूलाई चाहिँ युनिट 2 को चाहिँ म तपाईँहरूलाई लेसनहरूको बारेमा चाहिँ म तपाईँलाई क्वेसन एन्सरहरू म तपाईँलाई सेयर गर्नेछु। हुन्छ, आजलाई यति नै। आउने समयहरूमा अन्य भिडियोहरू म तपाईँलाई ल्याउनेछु। तबसम्म मेरो यो भिडियोलाई तपाईँले लाइक गरिदिनु होला, सेयर गरिदिनु होला आफ्नो साथीहरूलाई। अनि त्यसपछि यसमा तपाईँले लागेको कुराहरू पनि तपाईँले मलाई तपाईँले मलाई सोध्न सक्नुहुन्छ। तपाईँहरूको कमेन्टहरू मैले कस्तो गर्दा चाहिँ अलि राम्रो हुन्छ त्यो पनि तपाईँले मलाई चाहिँ कमेन्टमा गरिदिनु होला, ताकि म अझ त मेरो यो भिडियोहरूलाई चाहिँ सुधार गर्न सकौँ। आजलाई यति नै। तपाईँले अहिलेसम्म मेरो च्यानललाई सब्सक्राइब गर्नुभएको छैन भने प्लिज मेरो च्यानललाई तपाईँहरूले सब्सक्राइब पनि गरिदिनु होला।